Just to let you know, sir, the sentence is over. There wasn't any change of a friend is saying guilty plea as it was speculated earlier. No. To say ya na court area bibia. What happened? They said the case was called at 11:35. Until 11:35 and now judge in the no. And then your friend is saying around the same time, no, Ruby came in. Ruby came in and she was in her cage. And she was asked by the judge to confirm her identity, whether she's Ruby and whether she accepts the fact, say, or that amount of drugs and came in with a certain amount of money, which she actually confirmed. And judge what happened is judge say any sentence wasn't on sikana na ehye hono, but rather purely on cocaine any evaluation and how much she was going to get into or my different dates for your friend is saying sikano 170 because that is purely money laundering say into different dates has been given for that into that the sentence was purely going to be on the sentencing was going to be purely on drugs, Until what happened, listen, a lawyer, prosecutor, spoke first. Ravinda spoke first on what happened 27th of November when we came, how she pleaded guilty. And after that, then the lawyer, just so you know, said she had changed her lawyer. It wasn't a female again. There was a new lawyer by name, a male lawyer actually. I'll get the name right for you. Into the new lawyer, who is really good. The guy is good. Into and Obama long history. He came to give a long history about Sadia. Your friend is saying Ruby, how Ruby got into that position. According to lawyer, Ruby was born in a very poor, friend is saying, family background. Her mom had nothing and her dad left them. She was one of 3 children. Her dad left them. And the mom had to struggle to bring them up. And that is how she ended up in Austria. Austria, and that's how come she's an Austria citizen. Then when she came back, she met her husband at the age of 16 and they had a traditional marriage. It was a long story about her history. All that the lawyer was seeking to do was to let us know how poor her family background was and how she got to where she is now. According to lawyer, she had come into contact with some powerful people in Ghana, and what she was doing was being a companion to them. Hence her history of widely traveled. As you can see, she's widely traveled because she became friends with some popular people in Ghana, and she used to travel with them whenever they were going on trips. She would be a companion to them, and they were giving her money for that. Because at the time she had broken up with her husband. She had to find other ways to cope, and so she was being a companion to some powerful people in Ghana, and that actually made her really vulnerable. And so she was approached by this woman, proposition to take these drugs on Fentu and the money was good, so she agreed, which was $23,000. And then she agreed to take it. And then the woman gave her a bonus of £6,000. So those were the money that were found in her your friend is in possession. It is sikana yehu ewa ne ho no. Eno ne sikana na yesese di tua ne ka no ntina na ehye ne ho no. Record. Okay. And na ehye ne ho no. Enti no she was a woman. They didn't mention they cannot mention her name. Enti no. Ono yeah. Ono a man is a proposition to take the drugs no. Enti no. That was the initial way to introduce her to your friend is saying. That was the first time. According to her, and it's just a one-off. She hasn't on your courier that she hasn't traveled on Fat Bibia into Quinda. That was her first time. and she's actually vulnerable, and people were actually taking advantage of her. So that is what happened, and she accepts responsibility for everything that has happened. She actually says she accepts responsibility, but then she say anonymma ɛwɔ Ghana, ne ma yɛ 3, they are in Ghana, ne maame nte brɔfo, and ne maame cannot even write, and she's the one looking after them now. You know, all that they were trying to do was to plead for mercy. She accepts responsibility of what she did purely on the basics that she was vulnerable, and then also she is also trying to say there were some powerful people in Ghana behind the whole thing, and she cannot mention their names. But at the moment, even when she's freed now, she's scared to come back to Ghana because of these powerful people. And so after all this said by her lawyer, the judge went on further to say, well, if she says she's vulnerable now on TSSA, but then again, he has to give a sentence. So the long and short form of the whole thing is that sentence came, and it was 8 years and 8 months. So obviously 8 years and 8 months, Ewa has say. But then if she behaves like she did, purely based on the fact that she pleaded guilty earlier, without wasting the court's time, that is why they gave her 8 years and 8 months. Usually it would have been, your friend is saying 13 years based on the value of the drugs, but because of her earlier plea, that's why they gave her. That's why they've given her the 8 years and 8 months. And then if she behaves if she behaves well whilst in police in cells now, then she can have a sentence reduced to half of the 8 years and 8 months. And this is it. This is it. No adjournment, nothing. So this is it. And so this is the end of it. As we know, this is it.